Yo, how do I make this camera look good? Army painting is a commitment of both time and money. So much so that people will spend decades getting good at the painting part of the hobby without knowing a single thing about the actual lore of Warhammer. And to those who want to start dipping their toes into the painting part of the hobby, but are too put off by the advice of professionals who have already mastered all of the advanced techniques talking to you as just a newbie, well, you've come to the right place, my friend, because I suck too. Today, I'm going to give you 5 amateur tips to help you go from something that looks like this,
oh my goodness,
to something that looks a little bit more like this.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Number 1. I'm ripping the band-aid straight off with this one. You're gonna have to spend some money. And look, man, I get it. The hobby's really expensive, but there are certain things that as a painter, you're just gonna have to get. And that without these things, no matter what skill level you are, you're putting yourself at a pretty big disadvantage. When I first started painting, I had a tinfoil palette, brushes from like Michael's. Safe to say it was not a great experience. Synthetic brushes are not very good. So they do have their uses for sure. If you just want to put a big sloppy base coat, you're not worried about putting paint on places where it shouldn't be. Synthetic dry brush, they're very good for those uses. But if you want anything of higher detail, higher quality, you want to get yourself some sort of main brand brush. Something from Warhammer's main brands, Citadel, Army Painter, Green Stuff World. Each brush is about $10, kind of across the board, $9.90 something. Assuming that you guys are only painting beginner-friendly models, which I hope you would be, you should only really need to give yourself about 1 or 2 brushes anyway. So if a brush hits that $10 magic mark, that's probably the level of quality you want to be working with as a beginner. Get a wet palette. Just do it. Just buy one. It doesn't matter what the reviews are, it doesn't matter how cheap it is, it doesn't matter what rating Squidmar put it on their scam tier list, okay? It doesn't matter. Just get one. People will say, oh, you can make it out of the stuff you have at home, which is like, yeah, if you have all of the perfect niche things in your house to do it, I guess. But also like, boom, Green Stuff World, $15. Boom, random one I found on Amazon, $10. I first learned the significance of the wet palette. I was trying to wet blend a power sword, and I was trying to use that tin foil. I had a moment of clarity where I was just like, I put my hands down. I was just like, I can't be this bad. I bought the Green Stuff World wet palette, used it to try to blend. So much better. Another easy thing you want to get your hands on is some sort of lamp. LED light fixture that you can kind of place directly over your workstation, shine a light right on top of your mini. Don't trust the regular light fixtures that you have in your room. Like even in this one where it's pretty well lit, no, I got one, it's, you know, what, less than $20 on Amazon. I would link it, but I honestly forget. It's not something you gotta be too picky about, just make sure you have something. Number 2. We can all agree that there's something different about buying something in just a nice rectangular box. The kind that you can wrap up easily on Christmas and has that kind of shake to it. But I promise you this, as a new painter, the last thing you want to do is overbuy miniatures. What? As someone who has not started, doesn't know if they actually like it, if they have the time, don't spend $300 on stuff you're not gonna end up painting. The best thing you can do as a beginner painter is purchase in very small increments. Warhammer sells these starting kit boxes, couple paints, maybe, I forget if they have a brush in them. Paint them just to practice, see how much time it takes you, how much you want to invest in this sort of thing. That way, if you know, if you hate it, if you suck at it, if you never want to do it again, you don't have to. So if you're starting out, do not pressure yourself with buying 15 boxes or you'll have an insane backlog before you even really begin. And that's no fun. Number 3. There are thousands of people online who are insanely talented at miniature painting. And good news for both you and me, they all have Instagram and they post a lot. Seeing how people blend color or place their highlights will help you understand What looks good to you? Maybe you like the clean box art style that Warhammer uses. Maybe you like something with a little more volumetric highlighting. Or hell, there's some guy I keep seeing who paints all of his stuff like it comes straight out of a comic book. Maybe you just want to do that. Understanding how you want your models to end up is a great motivator when it comes to actually putting paint on your plastic. Number 4. This one's pretty straightforward. Designate a small space to become your work area. Whether that means clearing off your dining room table for a bit or repurposing the desk in your room, give yourself a nice, comfortable station that you will actually enjoy spending a lot of time in. Even if that environment ends up being temporary, because you shouldn't have a whole lot of stuff at this point, transitioning between your painting supplies and whatever you regularly use that station for shouldn't be that much of a hassle. And if you do decide you want to end up dedicating more time, that's when you can decide, okay, I want to set up a more permanent work area for myself. Right now, all you need is a nice clear surface that's large enough for a lamp, a palette, and your paints. See guys, look, your workstation doesn't have to be anything nice looking. Here, look at mine. Yep guys, this is where the magic happens. Honorable mention. All right, I'm not even gonna explain this one. You guys are just gonna have to use your brain power. All right, there you go. Number 5. This one's going to be the hardest for a lot of people to hear. But when starting out, you are going to end up wasting minis. You are 100% going to end up painting minis that will leave you disappointed. Either you set your expectations too high, or you just feel like the result that you got wasn't worth the money you spent obtaining it. And I'm here to tell you that's totally normal. Everyone has to go through that at some point. And it's honestly why I recommend you buy small amounts of different figures so that you can try different styles, different armies, different factions, so you figure out what you actually enjoy doing and what ends up looking good to you before you ever try to assemble an actual playable army. But those first minis that you end up painting should be nothing but a stepping stone for what you actually want to do, and you should never expect that you're going to be satisfied with your first several minis, and that you continue to learn from what you didn't like and improve in the future. And if you keep doing that, then your first several minis will be pushed to the back of the shelf, collecting dust, being nothing but a memento of where you started, and being replaced with models that you can actually be proud of to play on the tabletop. Obviously, this is a very different kind of video than what I do. I'm very ill-equipped to make these kinds of videos. I would love to actually do more of this kind of stuff in the future, but I need like a whole different setup in my dungeon, which is why I don't show a lot of my actual painting as much as I would like to. But if you found this video at all encouraging, interesting, or entertaining, or even if this video landed nowhere near the target audience, but you want to see more, do what the flag tells you and subscribe. That 1,000 milestone is closer than you think. And it's only been about 6 years. Really? It took me 6 years to get to this. Man, I suck at this.